the nose. So she suffocated basically. Um, it was crazy, crazy, crazy. Of course, the defense called two government witnesses who countered the prosecution. Da 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 da. Um, and then Cindy had to say she testified that their family buried their pets in blankets and plastic bags. Seriously, I, I can't even begin to. I would just want to smack Cindy. I really do. I really do. Um, Now the defense called a second pathologist in who performed, after Dr. G and challenged her report. Have you ever seen her? She is very thorough. She is freaking awesome to challenge her. Huh? He called her autopsy shoddy. I don't think so. Um, and he was not allowed to attend Dr. G's initial autopsy. But maybe she didn't like him. Who knows? I can see why. And from his own autopsy, he wasn't comfortable ruling it a homicide. Are you kidding? He said he couldn't determine a manner of death. Really? That's what Dr. G said. Undetermined means. Um, this guy's a trip. He's saying that the whole thing, the people who took the picture, the person who prepared this, put the hair there, and it was all staged. Are you kidding? No. Who is this guy? Yeah, no. My God. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody even say that? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Um, and then the prosecution alleged only Casey Anthony could have conducted the search on the word chloroform, and the others, because she was the only one home at the time. And then, of course, the defense said that how could she have done this when she was at work? But then here comes Cindy again. Despite what her work time sheet indicates, she was at home during these time periods because she left work early. Yeah, the whole thing made no sense. I can't understand why the jury. Yeah, they should be. Are you kidding me? Um, so she left work early. She was on the computer. Her mom said this. But at the same time, oh, she couldn't have done this. Whatever. Okay. Um, it was crazy. Crazy, crazy. The prosecution stated they discussed some discrepancies with the software, yada, yada, yada. On June 30th, defense called Krista Holloway, a volunteer in the search for Kaylee, okay, who stated she had had an affair with George Anthony, that he had been to her home, and that he had just texted her, just thinking about you, I need you in my life. Where did this clown come from? She told the defense George Anthony had told her Kaylee's death was an accident that snowballed out of control. Um, but they pointed her original police statement. Um, they pointed to her police statement, which she had said George Anthony believed that Kaylee's death was I really believe it was an accident that went wrong, and Casey tried to cover it up. She said he had told her he was not present when the accident occurred. Um, George Anthony denied the affair with Holloway and said he only did it because she was ill. I don't know. Could he have? Probably. Who knows? He said he sent the text message because he needed everyone who helped in his life. Um, But the judge ruled like, this has nothing to do with Kaylee's death. Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Who the hell cares what you were doing? I don't care. The prosecution rested its case on June 15th, and the defense rested its case after calling 47 witnesses, and the prosecution had 59. On June 30th and July 1st, the prosecutor presented rebuttal arguments, the photograph of Kaylee's clothes and George's suicide note. It also got two representatives from Cindy Anthony's former employer, who explained why their computer login system shows Cindy was at work. The afternoon, she said she went home early and searched for a computer for. I'm sorry. I hit a button. Sorry. I got lax there. Okay. When you have a child, this is the prosecution. When you have a child, that child becomes your life. This case is about the clash between that responsibility and the expectations that go with it. I'm here now. I hit the button. Sorry. And the life that Casey Anthony wanted to live. Exactly. Yeah, they got me for a minute. I'm here. I hit a button. I'm sorry. And she just maintains her lies until she can't maintain them anymore. This poor woman, Zenaida, she just picked her out of somewhere. And that poor woman's question for a kidnapping. Are you kidding? Can you imagine? How she must have felt? The bedding from her grandparents' home. One set of laundry bags and duct tape. And said, that bag is Kaylee's coffin. Yes. It was one of the bags. He held up a photograph of the laundry bag. He further criticized defensive theory that Kaylee drowned in the Anthony pool, and Casey and George panicked and covered up her death. Why not just admit it then at that point? Why not just admit it? I'm sorry, it was an accident. We didn't know what to do. Why is she going through all these lies? Where she worked and where she was and yada, yada, yada. And the judge also ruled the defense could argue the drowning that could have possibly occurred, but the sexual abuse was not allowed since there was nothing to support the claim of her being sexually abused. Obviously, and the defense guy kept saying that that the evidence was based on fantasy. Are you serious? Wow. And he kept saying, he said drowning is the only thing that makes sense. because there were no child safety locks. Okay. And that Kaylee could open the door. Okay. Nobody admitted to anything like that. If it was an accident, why not just say so? Instead of all this rhetoric and lies and, her partying and everything. She didn't care. She didn't give a crap. So the defense attorney followed with an additional closing argument, addressing the jury to discuss the charges against her. So Mason said that the jurors are required, whether they like it or not, to find the defendant not guilty if the state did not adequately prove its case against Casey. And they emphasized that the burden of proof is on the state. So there you go. So we all know the outcome of that. It was crazy. The lead prosecutor, Linda Drain Burdick, told the jurors she and her colleagues backed up every claim they made, which they did. And she said, my biggest fear is that common sense will be lost in all the rhetoric. Insisting she would never ask the jury to make their decision on emotion, but do it on the evidence. Responses to guilt are so predictable. Okay? They lie, they avoid, they run, they mislead. And divert attention away from themselves and act like nothing's wrong. Hello? She suggested that the garbage bag in the trunk of the car was a decoy to keep people from getting suspicious about the smell of the car, when she abandoned it in a parking stall right beside a dumpster. And whose life was better without Kaylee? Casey Anthony's, of course. And she stressed how George and Cindy were wondering where their daughter and granddaughter were in June and July, the same time Casey was staying at her boyfriend's apartment while Kaylee's body was decomposing in the woods. She wasn't even there. She wasn't even there. Dang it. And the only question you need to answer is in considering why Kaylee Marie Anthony was left on the side of the road dead. And then she showed the jury a split screen with a photo of Casey partying at a nightclub on one side, and a close-up of the Bella Vita, meaning beautiful life, tattoo she got weeks after Kaylee died on the other. She was busy, having a good time. On July 5th, 2011, unfortunately, the jury found Casey Anthony not guilty on counts 1 through 3 regarding first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter of a child, and aggravated child abuse. But they found her guilty on counts of 4 through 7, providing false information to law enforcement. All her lies. On July 7th, 2011, sentencing arguments were heard. The defense asked for the sentencing to be based on 1 count of lying, on the grounds that the offenses occurred as part of a single interview with the police. Are you serious? What the hell? I don't understand this. The defense also argued for concurrent sentences, that is for all 4 counts to become 1 count, and the sentences to run together as one. But the judge disagreed and ordered the sentences to be served consecutively. Noting, law enforcement expended a great deal of time, energy, and manpower looking for Kaylee Marie Anthony. This search went on from July through December, over several months, trying to find Kaylee. But he only sentenced her to 1 year in county jail and $1,000 in fines for each of the 4 counts. So she received 1,043 days credit for time served, plus additional credit for good behavior, resulting in her release on July 17th, 2011. Oh, my God. She filed an appeal July 15th. They also ruled that she must pay $270